Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video I just want to talk about a few things about borderline personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. Now I've got years ago, I don't know how many years ago when it was, somebody had mentioned to me borderline personality disorder, that was diagnosed with that. And I was like, what? I've never even heard of that. And I really don't remember what year it was. I think I might have been an undergraduate at the time. I had a double major as an undergraduate for my bachelor's, psychology and sociology. And I hadn't heard of it. And it wasn't really until, I don't know when, I did hear about it besides that. So I really don't, I know about it, but I really haven't delved very deep into it, like I've said before. And that is something I keep saying I want to do, but I haven't done yet. Not enough. Like I said, I know, I've said before, I know people who have been diagnosed with it. So, and I do know some, but not all, again. Okay, now as far as my memory about antisocial personality disorder, I do not recall from when I was an undergraduate it being called that. I really don't know. I don't know when it was started being called that, or if it was always. I really don't know. All I remember was from way back then was a psychopath and sociopath. Okay, and now apparently, I don't know. I'm not going to go any deeper until I do know on that. But I have I have three, but one is a DSM-4 TR, the text revision, and another one is a little guide, and the other one I have no idea where it is. I tried to look for it a little bit yesterday, so I don't even know what to call it. So anyway, but I think that these two, well, I'm going to look before I say any more. I don't want to misquote anything. So, and I think it was sometime last week maybe, I started doing this thing again I do every once in a while to remind myself of just certain things. But I was looking at in the DSM-4 TR, I was looking at I'm going to get this out in a minute, I do believe. I was looking at what it said for the Narcissistic Personality Disorder and Histrionic Personality Disorder. Now those are the two I feel like I see quite often. I mean, not the disorders, but the behaviors and the criteria. That's what I've seen in my life. And pretty much when I go over them each time I say, yep, see, I've seen those, not in myself, but other people. But I do want to, so I got those down, and I also was looking at paranoid personality disorder. Not personality, yeah, it is personality disorder. I could be wrong here. Yeah, and some of those I've seen, yeah. But really, when it comes down to it, I should just go ahead and say this. I have seen behaviors that you would see in each one of these four, cluster B. I've seen them in one person, not just one person, but I can, you know what I'm saying. I've seen them that way. It's just the behaviors. I'm not talking about the actual disorder, just the behaviors, and that's one of the things we were taught in Psych 101, like I've said before. It's just because somebody has symptoms, that doesn't mean they have the disorder. And also, you shouldn't diagnose anybody anyway, unless you are a professional counselor. Or I think for some places counselors can't diagnose, and it just depends on where you live and what the rules and laws are there, and psychiatrists can and stuff like that. So, okay, and there was something else that was bothering me, is it's about life coaches. Now I don't think all life coaches are bad. I should probably say that. It's the ones who, well, it's just particular ones, especially when they give out misinformation and they give out advice so freely. The worst I've seen, I think, is when they say, oh, just leave the person. There's so many things that could happen, so many bad things that could happen if a person just left someone, like, as if it's so easy, for one thing, and there's danger there. somebody who would do that. It's just, they just leave somebody. Okay. And another thing while I'm on this thought, is when somebody says, like, if somebody says that they're suffering from depression, and somebody else says to them, oh, well, you don't need to take any medication, this is all you have to do. It's like, whoa, okay, is that even legal? And I'm questioning this. Is it even legal for somebody to say that, especially like on video or in a group or something online? Is it even legal? Seriously, I want to find out. Okay, I especially wonder about that. I'm not an attorney or anybody along that line that knows the laws and all that. But from what I've always understood, like any kind of medical advice, a person shouldn't, because it's illegal in certain places. I don't know if it's legal anywhere in the United States to give out medical advice. And I would think that for some, depression is something that's medical, could be seen because they take medication for it. I don't know. I really don't know. So I wonder about that. And I don't trust anything I read online at all. Not anymore. Never have. Actually, I wouldn't let my students get anything from online. So I didn't trust it then. I don't trust it now. Okay, but I wonder about advice giving, as it is, like on video. What's what I'm talking about. Sure, people, they go around telling one another that, like a mom might say to a child or something like this, or sister's brother. I really don't know how any of it is legal. Okay, I'm not an expert on this at all. I don't know anything really that much about it. But I want to find these things out. I want to know. Like I said, if somebody can do that on video or on any kind of social media platform, and since they could be seen as an influencer, that's a new word, isn't it? But what's the legality behind it? Is it legal or not? And I'm just curious. I mean, trying to call a state was, yeah, and asking, they didn't know on certain things. But I don't know. I think the best possible, second best for me, well, third, I would think it would be a lawyer. I don't want to pay a lawyer, but to find out these questions, because I'm just curious. But is a professor. A professor who is the one that would teach something along that line. And I'm curious. Okay, I'm kind of rambling on this, but yeah, I've been doing the series about my story. And I still have some that I haven't made public, but I'm going to try to mix those in with other ones now that the holidays and stuff is going to start calming down. All those this coming week is when colleges and universities around here, at least, they start to open up again. And I have a project, so okay, one of them is this. I want to ask, but anyway, I'm kind of rambling today. I'm sitting right here and I'm kind of a little bit on the chilly side still. I don't know why my air conditioner is on in my SUV. Oh wow. But the temperature right now is 38. We had snow. Yay, snow. Earlier today, it didn't really accumulate. I think in Dallas it did. I'm north of Dallas, the suburb of Dallas. And it accumulated a little tiny bit. We could see it on top of our SUVs, And, but it was good to see. I think WFAA here said something. They said it in days, but I think it was more like 3 years we haven't seen snow, and or any measurable amount of snow, and then around 5 years I think that we haven't had accumulation about an inch, around an inch, something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about a lot of things. I should say this. The people who really bother me are the ones who say it as though they are experts and they know exactly. They can never be wrong. Y'all, all of y'all know that. But I really want to move away from what's bothering me and from what it is. And I want to study these two, like I was started this off. The borderline personality disorder and borderline antisocial. And there's one more, but it's not a personality disorder that I'm going to be studying. So delving deeper into. So anyway, I'm back. Actually, it's not very cold. Oh, I don't know. But, anyways, expect those videos. But I've said stuff like this before. I said expect videos on something, and then something else comes up and I switch it all around. Typical me. Typical life for me. Something totally different would make me want to focus on something else, could come up. And I've said, like I said, I have said this before, that I wanted to study, especially borderline personality disorder. The other ones I pretty much got down. I know, like I said, I know, so I know some about them, but I want to see deeper. And I don't trust what I see online. I just don't. Yeah. So too much of it's wound up, like you trust something online and then say something to somebody, says, well, that's not it at all. Where'd you hear that? And that's, yeah. I'm not saying everything online is bad. I'm just saying, yeah, if you've ever had that experience, you start saying, and that happened to me. That happened to me in a hospital ER even. I wasn't diagnosing myself, but I told the doctor, and he apparently had an attitude about that. I've had doctors, actually, while I'm on that subject, I've had doctors who tell me that anybody who doesn't do it, look up, symptoms or whatever, that they really just don't care about themselves. Then you hear them say, don't do that. Same thing with some professors. Don't look up anything online. But, I was a career student, and I still hold to, all these things that career students would, but that just doesn't always pan out. I mean, it's not always the same for the general public. I was a career student. I used such rigid rules, such very rigid rules to follow at times, but it could be just where I attended university. Anyway, wrapping this up. Talk to you on another video.